Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
We were talking about the workout equipment last week. I kind of alluded to it, but so we had a running track and they had sports. You know, they had a softball field and they had they would play like pickup football. Actually, it wasn't even pickup. It was organized flag football with teams. One of the teams' name was the Woodlayers, and yeah.
Were they gay? I had to process.
I don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell, Woody.
Right.
And so they would go out there and they'd play football, but it was hot as fuck out there. I couldn't believe they weren't just heat stroking out in that 100-degree bullshit. And there was like medicine balls and then there were there was like one good elliptical, one decent treadmill, and like some shitty ellipticals that had no resistance. Even you were just on this green thing doing this a lot, and then that was it. And I was like, well, shit, what do you do for like? Or there was chin-up bars and dip bars, but there was no free weights. And I was like, what do they do? And my buddy's like, over here, I'll show you. We go out there, and these guys have gotten big rocks, like the ones that like retain an area to keep from washing away. And they have taken them to the scales and weighed them and written with magic marker what they weigh on them. So every rock you look at in the gully says 25.5, 32 pounds, 16 pounds.
Big rocks.
Yeah, they're big, like the retaining rocks you like put to like keep water from washing a gully away. And they would take these bags and fill them up with rocks, and they put them on either end of a pipe. And they're out there doing bench press and curls with a pipe full of rocks. So why would bags of rocks?
Why wouldn't they give them free weights? Was it because they were worried that they would like hurt each other with them, or? That's
what they would say if you asked. That's the same reason they said that we didn't have a pool table, but they give us padlocks and socks. So that's bullshit. We got big long tube socks and we've got padlocks.
What's safe about giant rocks?
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No, let them go play with the rock pile.
So every morning I'd go out there to the track, like crack of dawn, and I'd start my run, and I'd look, and here came the same guy with a wagon, like a big the kind of wagon you would use around a greenhouse is the only way I know to describe it. In high school, I remember seeing that. It was like a big heavy duty wagon full of rocks. And because you got to put them back. You can't just leave the rocks up in the workout area. Like they're real big on cleanliness and neatness. And so, and this, I was asking my buddy, I was like, that guy's the rock guy, I guess. He's like, he's lost like 200 pounds. When he got here, he was like 450. Now look at him. And I'm like, still looks pretty fat to me. Yeah, right? It's not a good look.
You could really benefit from the gym that's like, not just like rocks and pipes.
But yeah, and then guys would be doing like burpees and sit-ups and push-ups and lots of stuff like that. Most people worked out in pairs so you could motivate the other guy. It seemed like that was very common, that one guy would often know more than the other guy, and like there were a couple guys in there who were just like specimens. You could tell.
Was Snow a specimen like that?
No, I would say he was just bulky and strong. But there were some of these guys who were just like, they look like Brad Pitt and Troy, like just real ripped up and like a tiny waist and just real symmetrical, good looking guys who were just out there doing dips all day. And
man, that's all I would do if I went to jail. That's all I would do.
I would just. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I would just
you work out
24/7.
6-7 hours a day. Lift rocks. Yeah, lift rocks. Why not?
Call me Fred Flintstone, bitch. Fucking rock in each hand. They would do that too. They just have a rock in each hand, and they'd be doing all sorts of like.
Those are the free weights. You just
for real.
I could see myself going either way. Really, like there's a version of me that might just hit the gym hard, and there's a version of me that might just get a little depressed and sleep and do nothing.
It's a long day. You wake up eventually and need something to do. I read a lot. Mostly reading. That's almost exclusively what I did, for sure.
You have access to the internet at all, or no?
Not really. Yeah. Not like the real internet. Like we had internet, but it did lame things. Like you could do like a email to text thing. So you could text somebody and then they would email you back when they returned the text. Mm-hmm. I didn't really bother with that. I just used the phones. You got like 15-minute phone calls, 300 months a month.
300 minutes a month, yeah.
The phone is one of my questions, Kyle. How did that work? Like, is it a common area? On TV, sometimes there's people waiting for the phone, and if you're on it and I'm a tough guy, I might be wanting to boot you. Like, what is the phone like?
It's a little room you go into that's not very far from the dorm, just a stone's throw. And you go in there. It's got air conditioning. It's very small. It's about the size of this room I'm in right now. And there's 8 phones, I think, in there, maybe 10, just along the walls. Maybe 4 on this side, 4 on this side, 4 on that side, something like that. And you dial the number you want to call. You dial your prison number, which is like a 9-digit number that identifies yourself. And then it asks you to repeat your name back to it. And at the tone. And the voice recognition sucks dick. So like I'd have to make like 10 phone calls in a row. It would take me 15 minutes to make a 5-minute phone call because I'm just calling it over and over. I'm like, Kyle Myers.
Yeah.
Didn't understand that. Sorry. Try again. And gets, oh, fuck, maybe next time. Oh, nope. Not going to understand you at all. Try again later. I'm like, fuck. click, and just go again. But yeah, there's guys in there. It's usually real loud. I try to pick off times to make my phone calls so it's not so goddamn loud in the room because they're real depressing phone calls.
Of course.
You know, it's like sometimes it's funny. You know, I remember distinctly one of the early times I was in there, he's like, yeah, baby, you need a gangster in your life. And I'm thinking like, does she though?
He's calling from jail. Yeah.
Like,
so is he trying to seduce someone for his soft landing?
Yeah.
I like his gumption.
I mean,
good for him. I mean, there are women out there who want to fuck Charlie Manson.
There are.
Shoot your shot.
And but yeah, it sucked. You got, like I said, you got 15 minutes, and then the phone starts doing this little countdown bullshit. It gives you these little tones to let you know that any minute now you're running out of time, and we're just gonna hang the fuck up on whoever this is. And unless you're calling locally, it's expensive, like $1 a minute or something like that.
To you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On TV, it's always collect.
No, I don't even think that's an option because this way the prison gets the money.
Call from help! I'm being raped.
I don't know. Help.
Yeah. I'm being raped. Is that Turkish? What is? I don't know, gentlemen.
No, I think that the federal prison system wants to get as much money out of you as they can. So like it comes right out of your commissary fund. There's a little process in which you transfer money from commissary fund into your phone fund, and
one of the problems with prison, like you said, get the money out of you. Most people exit prison, even if they just do 2 months, which is a low yet. Most people do more. You do 6 months in prison, you come out broke. Most people can't they don't have a 6-month emergency fund that they can tap into, and they exit, and suddenly it's not a problem like renting their next apartment and such. Like they leave in dire straits, and
right.
That's part. Yeah,
that's why they put them in the halfway house. I think that's one of the main reasons. You know. And they can give you like a year of halfway house. So, and that comes right off your sentence too. That's not like an in addition type thing. So a lot of those guys like Snow, for example, he's really trying to get them to give him as much halfway house as possible. So, and as much home confinement in addition to that as possible. So he can get out like early next year because he's been in there for fucking 10 years or whatever the fuck.
Jesus.
So basically you just like your account, like let's say you have a savings account. You just take your savings account with you to prison, and then you're just whittling away at that account? Or
no, you use like Western Union. You get somebody on the outside to like wire the money into your prison account. And so you know, I had plenty of money, but you have a spending limit. Even in the commissary, it's like, you can only spend $120 every 2 weeks or something like that, or 180, I think it was, something like that.
Yeah. Did anyone? Maybe not you, but like, did anyone in the prison use other people as their like pay pigs? Like, you know, hey, if you want to feel safe, you keep me rolling in potato chips or something.
No, I didn't see anything like that. People were real honest about like making promises, like, hey, could you give me a little bit of this, and I'll buy you something for that, like commissary day, and they would always like actually make that happen. There was a lot of like on commissary day, like each dorm had a different commissary day. So if I don't get to shop until Wednesday, but it's Monday and you get to shop, I could be, hey man, will you get me 4 bags of chili and some Raisin Bran? And you know, that would happen. And then when it's my turn, I will buy him, you know, $18 worth of shit too. And that's a pretty common thing that would happen. Or if you had gambling debts, you could handle those. If they didn't want max, which is the packets of mackerel fish fillets that I talked about that were kind of currency in there. If they didn't want that, they could also do commissary credit. So like, give me your commissary list. I'll put down $6 for the shit and just bring it to me whenever, you know, you go.
So the gambling debts was that like gambling debts from within prison? Like basically Oh wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, there's that like nobody's like loan sharking you from in prison.
I know. Well, I mean, because like basically they were I don't know, like shooting dice or like just playing cards
Poker.
or something.
Poker, Monopoly, and football.
Did you play poker?
A little bit, not much. They did like this dealer's choice thing where the dealer got to choose the game, and they played a lot of how should I put this, ghetto games that I'm not familiar with. But a lot of nonsense games, and I like to play Texas Hold'em pretty exclusively. That's what I always played when I would, play for real money and play online and stuff like that. I'm good at that. I think I always was, and I didn't know how. I don't like Omaha, and they play a lot of like different kind of pot limit games, and they just mix it up. So if you got 6 guys playing, you might play for half an hour and play one game of Texas Hold'em, which is all I wanted to play. And plus, like, I didn't know those people very well either. So like sometimes like, there were scary people in the game, and I didn't know they might get upset if I win too much. That
would be my holdup. Like I don't want to win a lot. I don't want to lose a lot. Like I don't want to
play.
Right. I don't want to owe you money, and then suddenly like that's a danger. I don't want you owing me money. Then like that's another problem in itself.
Right.
And,
they were pretty chill about that. I didn't feel like it was going to be a big thing. It was mostly just they.
I ended on that note. I love the
That was the
wordplay.
best
Very
shit
nice.
I've ever heard.